Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Good morning once again, and thank you so much for keeping with us here on UBC TV. It is really a fairly calm weather outside, and I hope you're well prepared for the day in regards to that. But it is Good Morning Uganda Extra, and this is an extension of Good Morning Uganda. Now what we do, we have guests in studios or a guest, and we continue to address issues or discuss issues of national concern. And this morning we are going to be handling issues to do with insurance, and to be more particular, that is a marine cargo insurance, bearing in mind that after a number of complaints from concerned parties in this sector, the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, directed that from 1st July this very year, at least all these importance, this nature of insurance must be a must, because of sometimes losses incurred, and then people cry foul, then some don't want to insure. So with me in studios, I have the Chief Executive Officer, that is Uganda Assurers Association, Jonan Chisache, with whom we are going to be discussing more regarding this. And let me welcome you to our studios this morning. You're most welcome, Chisache.
Okay, thank you very much, Robert. Good morning to our viewers. My name, as introduced, is Jonan Chisache. I work with the Uganda Insurers Association, a membership body that brings together all licensed players within the insurance space in Uganda.
Mm-hmm. Well, to begin with, even before we drive into understanding cargo or marine insurance to be particular, when you talk about insurance, this is something that has been around for some time. Mm-hmm. But of course, Ugandans, I would say, we are just peaking. Mm-hmm. Many think it is something for the rich. Others would ask, why would I put money in uncertainty, you know, in case bad luck. If people find a problem, even to have a will, someone says, why should I have a will, you know? It is something I should write on my deathbed, leaving other importance of having it. Even insurance. So briefly, in a layman's language, explain to us what insurance, when we talk about insurance, we know there are a number of packages, but just a broad into that.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Robert. I thought that before I get into just explaining what insurance is, I would just let our viewers understand what the UIA is all about in terms of the Uganda Insurers Association and who we are and what we do, and that will definitely lead me into explaining what insurance is. So as Uganda Insurers Association, we are simply a trade association. We are membership based. We bring together licensed players within the insurance space, and this includes insurance companies, it includes reinsurance companies, and also micro insurance companies. And all those are categories of membership for the UIA. In total, we have about 35 players, 21 general insurers that particularly cover physical assets. We also have 9 life insurers that then cover, whose basis of provision of service is the life of an individual or a group of individuals, and those are 9 in number. We also have 3 reinsurers and about 3 microinsurance companies. So being a membership body that brings together players within that space, as highlighted, our mandate really is around business promotion and protecting the interests of consumers of insurance. So we'll undertake a lot of collaboration as members to promote our business by bringing our capacity and our knowledge together to try and ensure that the products we offer resonate with members of the public, but also we undertake research to improve those products. So that as a body, we are in touch with the public that we service or we provide service to, again to try and streamline and ensure that our products resonate with their needs and they are responsive in terms of the risks that they continue to face. But also we lobby. We are a lobby organization. We lobby government, we engage government to enact legislation that is favorable to our members, and we also take a common position for purposes of spearheading the sort of agenda that works for us as a sector. But then you asked me a very interesting question in terms of what is insurance. I can just, in a layman's language, I can just simply say that insurance is just simply a promise given by the insurer, who is the insurance company, to the insured, that in the event of a loss and upon payment of a premium, which is the cost of insurance, that then the insurance company will be able to put back the insured in the position that they were in before they experienced that loss. So it's simply a promise or a guarantee that in case anything happens as defined by the contract of insurance, the insurance company will make good by providing a compensation.
Very interesting, and of course with that definition, any Ugandan insurance is something you should be going for. But let's now go to this particular package, which is marine cargo, where we recently saw that now marine cargo, that package is a must for many Ugandans. If you're dealing in this, of course, like you earlier said, you're looking at business development, protecting these people from these uncertainties that sometimes put them completely out of business. And all we can say is he had this business running, but such fire struck. He was transporting goods from maybe Japan, the ship had issues, this and that. So help us understand when we talk about cargo or marine, cargo and marine insurance here.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Now, again, marine cargo insurance is one of the many products that we offer at insurance companies. And I'll tell you that marine cargo insurance, number one, is a contract of insurance. And this contract of insurance is between the insurance company and the importer of merchandise. If you are involved in importation of goods, you then take on a marine cargo insurance. You purchase a marine cargo policy. So it's just simply a policy or contract of insurance that gives you an assurance that you as an importer of merchandise, that the merchandise that you've imported from the country of origin will be in the same condition when it gets to the country of destination. So it's basically an assurance that in case of any risks that may occur in the process of transporting this merchandise from wherever you're purchasing the merchandise from, which is outside the borders of Uganda. So it could be within Africa, it could be Asia. A lot of our importers deal with China, for example, Middle East, Dubai. So we are giving you an assurance, a guarantee that should any of the risks, which include an accident, theft, fire, occur during the course of transportation of the merchandise, we will then make good by compensating you for that loss that you've incurred. Yes, that is basically what.
What's the scope of what it covers?
Okay. First of all, the merchandise will be transported in various forms. That merchandise can come by sea, hence the name marine cargo insurance. But we cover merchandise beyond just simply merchandise that is transported by ship or by sea. Merchandise can come by air, it can be transported by land. So the perils, there can be perils at sea. There could be accidents, for example. An accident could occur as the ship is transporting the merchandise, or even an accident on land in terms of the trailers that could be transporting these imports. But also by air, these accidents occur. But also the ship can catch fire, the merchandise can be stolen. So there are quite a number of risks that the importer faces as these goods are coming in from the point of origin to the point of destination. And those perils or the scope of cover is then well defined within the contract of insurance that you get as an importer, and should any loss occur around the scope of cover, the insurer then would compensate for that loss.
Very informative there, and of course assurance from Chisachi here, whom you're having, the CEO, that is the Insurers Association. But also let's understand, because I've seen many times, many people want to claim compensation. But one of the things I've learned with insurance, one, it is a contract that you must read and understand very well. It's not just sitting wherever you are and say I'm covered by an insurance. Two, there are usually documents that you must have. Now in this particular, that is a marine cargo package, what are some of those documents that an importer should have? Because it's not just a matter of walking in, the ship sank and now I had this amount, I need compensation. But brother and sister, you may get a disappointment of your lifetime.
Absolutely. Now when it comes to insurance, there must be proof of ownership of what you're insuring. Because at the end of the day, the insurance company is not a trader in merchandise, but they insure a value, which is the value that is attached to whatever commodity you're insuring. So when it comes to importation, again, there are various imports. So as the insurance companies, we do not necessarily insure the import per se, but we insure the value of those imports or the merchandise. And the value of merchandise is based on a number of documents. Number one, the importer will always have a commercial invoice. When you order for merchandise or goods from overseas, you will be issued with a commercial invoice. The invoice will state the value of the goods, the details of the goods in terms of type, and all the other details that may be associated with the merchandise that you're importing. But also, just like the contract of insurance, when you ship the goods, you'll have a contract with the shipper, and this contract is the bill of lading that will be issued by the shipper, again, which now shows the details of the merchandise that is loaded onto the ship, gives the details of the dates when the ship will be at sea, when the merchandise is expected to be arriving at the port of destination. But also, if the merchandise is coming by air, you'll have an airway bill. There is also a packing list. Usually this will also be issued by the shipper. So those are crucial for anyone to take on marine cargo insurance. Not only at the point of taking on marine cargo insurance, but also at the point of claiming in the event of a loss. So these items that I've mentioned, these documents that I've talked about, should be availed, yes, at the point at which you're taking on the policy, but they will also be required at the point at which you're claiming in the event of a loss. But because currently marine cargo insurance is mandatory, like you mentioned, and it's part of the clearing process undertaken by the Uganda Revenue Authority, the Uganda Insurers Association has made it simple and easier to purchase marine cargo insurance through a platform, a dedicated platform that sits on our website, that is www.uia.co.ug. Now, because this platform is linked to Uganda Revenue Authority for purposes of custom clearance, there are other details that you will require as an importer if you are to purchase your marine cargo policy through this platform, the dedicated platform. So you will definitely need your details in terms of your name, but also your TIN number is important. Because then that TIN number is linked to the database of URA, and it eases the payment of taxes and also the purposes of ensuring that what the information you've input into the platform relates with the database of the Uganda Revenue Authority. So you will need a TIN number, and also attach the details or the documents that I've highlighted, and then you'll be able to access a marine cargo policy, or a certificate will be issued upon payment of a premium. So the platform is quite straightforward. Once you sign in, go onto the website of the UIA, www.uia.co.ug. You should be able to access marine cargo insurance from the comfort of your office, from the comfort of your shop, as a trader. But I must also emphasize at this point that marine cargo insurance through the portal, the dedicated portal, is just simply one of the channels of distribution. You can still go directly to your insurer. They will be able to give you a policy of insurance with the documents that you've been able to ask and have highlighted. You can also use your broker, who is another channel of distribution. You can also use an agent. But you can also walk into a bank. The banks these days sell insurance through what we call bank assurance. So you can talk to your banker who has a license to sell insurance as an intermediary, and they will be able to process for you a marine cargo insurance policy. The insurer directly will be able to do that. The broker will be able to do that. What is important and what you need to ensure that is done by whichever channel you choose is that your certificate of insurance has been uploaded into the portal for recognition at the point of custom clearance, because that is quite important. So ensure that the insurers are aware of it, but it doesn't hurt for you to be empowered as a purchaser, as the owner of the policy, to cross-check and ask whether the certificate has been uploaded. Because if you buy through the portal, automatically it will be uploaded. But if you buy through the other channels, the certificate of insurance has got to be uploaded into the portal, so that then it is linked with the Uganda Revenue Authority, and that will lessen the period within which the clearance of goods takes. So those are some of the documents as you requested.
Well, information is power. This is compulsory. Any trader, any business person watching us, and you're into importation business, most of the times we've seen our traders go into a number of countries to bring or import what we need here in Uganda. So this is compulsory. Marine and cargo insurance is a must-have, effective. That was on 1st actually July this very year. So this is just knowledge in case you're planning to import or you're an importer. This is something you must know and have by now. But let's also look at an event that my goods are coming, I'm still struggling. How would you help me?
Okay. First of all, before I can respond to that question in view of the challenges you may face while taking on marine cargo insurance, you've mentioned, and indeed I also repeated, that yes, it's mandatory. But when you talk about the aspect of it being mandatory, we lose the gist and the intention of marine cargo insurance. And I thought I would take some time to expound on some of the reasons as to why, much as it might sound mandatory, it is pertinent that indeed we take on marine cargo insurance from a local cause. Absolutely. And also to give our viewers comfort, especially the traders who we've engaged with extensively, to give them comfort that indeed, much as yes, it's mandatory, there are benefits, but also there are no added costs on the purchase of this. It doesn't make it any more expensive in terms of doing business, especially in the current economic conditions that we are all aware of. I will tell you that when you buy a marine cargo policy locally, there are advantages that accrue. Number one, ease of purchase. You are buying from an insurer who is domiciled here, who you can relate with, who is regulated within a market that is controlled, that has mechanisms of regulation and also implementation. If there are challenges between you and that insurer, there is a complaints bureau that sits at the Insurance Regulatory Authority where you can go and seek redress. That's a benefit. But also ease of processing claims. Very, very important, that in case of a claim, you can imagine if you purchase your insurance cover, let's say from China, from India, from Dubai, how long would it take you to report and intimate that claim? How long will it take you to process that claim? How will they be able to even verify some of the policies issued are not even in a language you understand as an importer. There's a benefit that, yes, indeed, you can be able to relate with what you understand locally here, because issued by a local company. But also the other aspect is that we are trying to build the country. We're trying to build Uganda. The merchandise that we are bringing in and the premiums that we pay to a local insurance company help build this country. If you buy a local cover, pay premiums to a local insurer, this local insurer provides employment to Uganda.
Definitely.
This local insurer pays taxes that help build the hospitals, the roads. This local insurer invests in other businesses, but this local insurer also has service providers with whom they contract, and these are all local players. So we are keeping the resources here to develop our country. The taxes that we pay, the taxes that we are losing, a research was conducted, and over a period of about 3-5 years, Uganda lost about $100 million in terms of revenue lost that would have come or been retained by the local players. These are funds that would be used to develop the local industry, but also the country at large. So there are inherent benefits in there. But also on top of that, there are no added costs like I mentioned. Currently, through the East African Customs Management Act, if you are to import merchandise without insurance, the requirement is that the value of those goods would attract a surcharge of 1%. So automatically, the value of your goods would go up by 1%. So what we are simply saying is, instead of paying a surcharge of 1%, which you will pay when you don't have insurance, why don't you just simply take on a policy of insurance from a local player, and that 1% gives you a tangible benefit? And for me, that is where the gist of this localization of marine is. Not so much about it being mandatory, but the benefits that accrue and the fact that there are no added costs that the importer or the trader would incur as a result of marine cargo insurance. But if there are any challenges upon purchase of marine insurance, one of the things that you can do is contact the Uganda Insurers Association. You can use our website. We have a toll-free number that you can be able to call or use, and you'll get assistance. But also, the way marine cargo insurance is working, especially through the platform, the insurance players have come together through what we call a collaborative method that in insurance we call a co-insurance arrangement. So it means that if you buy marine cargo insurance through the portal, you are basically buying from all the insurers combined.
Okay.
What that means is that if you have any challenges and you've purchased your policy through the portal, you can walk to the premises of any licensed insurer and you'll get assistance. Because all insurance companies are players in this co-insurance arrangement that we have through the portal. But also, if you bought your policy directly, then walk to that insurer of choice, call them. Most insurers now have toll-free numbers, they have customer care numbers. Reach out to them and you'll get assistance. Do not sit back and face these challenges alone. We are here as the insurance fraternity to ensure that as you take on this product, the process is smooth. So all those are avenues through which you can get assistance. And if there is a complaint, if there are delays in compensating you, again we have a regulator, that is the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, available to again assist you in the event that you fail to agree with the insurer, which are very rare cases in this case, very, very rare, because the insurance companies have demonstrated that we pay claims.
It's very interesting, and that is where I want us to start from after this short commercial break. You said you've demonstrated you pay claims. Many Ugandans will tell you, issues of insurance. You pay your premium, but getting that compensation, though there are so many stories I've come across who have gotten their compensation. But let's look at that after this break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
and our lives disrupted. When businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
It's a full-time job to be a great parent or guardian. The decisions we make impact their lives forever, and getting a birth certificate is one of the most important ones. All you need to do is get a birth notification record stamped by a medical officer from the hospital where the baby was born, or from the sub-county chief in case it occurred at home. Go to the NERA offices in your area and present the notification record, copy of parent's ID, and bank payment slip of 5,000 Ugandan shillings for citizens and $40 for non-citizens. Fill NERA Form 3 while there, and a birth certificate will be issued to you. Please note that birth certificates to refugees born in Uganda are free of charge. For more information, visit the NERA office closest to you or call 0800-211-700. This message is brought to you by NERA.
National Council for Higher Education will hold the 4th Annual Higher Education Conference on the 14th and 15th September 2022. The conference theme is Enhancement of Teaching, Learning and Assessment with Ordeal in Higher Education. The guest of honor will be the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. The conference will be held physically at Hotel Africana for only invited guests and open to online participants via Zoom webinar that will be shared under the events section at www.unche.or.ug. The keynote speakers are Ezra Nazim, Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK, Professor Henk Gerald Sola, a Dutch organizational theorist and Emeritus Professor of Business, Engineering and ICT at Groningen University, the Netherlands. The National Council for Higher Education is receiving papers from researchers and scholars for publication in the Uganda Higher Education Review, Journal of National Council for Higher Education. For more details, send inquiries to cmuhumuza@unche.or.ug. info@unche.or.ug or call 0783 040024 or 0704 800926 plus 256 39 32 62 140/4.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break. You're still watching Good Morning Uganda Extra on UBC TV. I appreciate you moving with us throughout this program. Well, it is all about insurance, and today we are focusing on marine cargo. In case you've just joined us, you are an importer. Even you in any form of business, this is knowledge. You never know when your business will grow or will take that direction. And remember that now it's mandatory, but despite a number of benefits on you who is having your cargo coming into this country. And I have the CEO Uganda Insurers Association, Janan Chisache, with whom we are discussing. Now, one of the issues before we went for this break, Chisache, was compensation being a challenge to many people. That is why even some will tell you, but is insurance a reality? Is it a myth? Do these things really happen? Do people get compensated? Why do we have this amongst a number of people in our population who believe that maybe sometimes we insure now because it is compulsory, we insure maybe it's another form of government getting revenue because they tax these insurers. So help us understand, why do we have these challenges most of the times?
Okay, thank you, Robert. I think that these challenges are brought about by a lack of information. Because, to be honest with you, one of the things that we pride ourselves in as insurers is the fact that we pay claims. And I'll just give you a bit of statistics. Between 2018 to 2021, the gross written premiums for the insurance industry were about 4 trillion. Of the 4 trillion, 43% of that amount was paid out in claims. Remember, to run an insurance company, there are quite a number of expenses that the insurer would incur. You have to pay rent, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay salaries. Before we even incurred those expenses, 43% of the 4 trillion was paid out in claims. That is over almost 1 point something trillion. That is a demonstration that insurance companies do pay. I will tell you that if you look at just our half-year performance between January to June of this year, out of 691 billion premiums written over this period, more than 50% has been paid back as claims. And we're talking about compensation. And the question then is, what happens to the other 50%? I've already explained in terms of the other costs that we incur to run the business of insurance. So for me, I think it is more to do with a lack of information. I will tell you that medical insurance alone, if you look at one single product, and that is medical insurance, the sort of claims that we pay on a monthly basis, medical insurance contributes about 20% of the written premiums that we collect. And I will tell you that out of medical, almost 90% is paid out in claims, medical-related claims. A visit to the hospital, an operation, an inpatient, outpatient. These are statistics that probably people out there do not have. But I will tell you that insurance companies pay claims. From 2021, our total claims were about 564 billion, and this was up from about 440 billion the year before in 2020. So there is growth in the claims that we pay. And I think also the other challenge we have is that bad news moves faster than good news. Unfortunately, the people that we compensate do not necessarily want to be exposed. If you look at the COVID period, one of the essential services was insurance. Why? Because we were paying death claims, we were paying medical-related claims, and throughout the COVID period, the insurance industry actually grew. Why did we grow during that period? Because of the relevance that we demonstrated. Just this year alone, I will tell you that we have a growth of about 22%, half year between January to June. If insurance was not relevant, if we were not paying within the tough economic times that we are in, and to demonstrate a growth of over 20%, a double-digit growth, I think for me is confidence in terms of the services that we offer to the public. So we do pay claims.
Well, rightly given us statistics, but still there is this that either people don't understand the contract. And I want you, CEO, to throw more light on these contracts. Because a person will tell you that many maybe assume what their cover does not entail. Someone tells you, for example, many times one of the things, and I've seen it with most of vehicle owners in this country, third party. They will tell you, well, I've had a number of accidents, but not a single time have I benefited from my third party. Apart from knowing it is compulsory, a traffic officer will stop me, check my third party, if it expired, then I'll find all that. But where do I benefit? You know, they'll tell you it's very hard for you to claim. They'll take you through this term, this condition. Let's take a look at that.
Okay. Like I mentioned earlier on in the interview, insurance is a contract. What you're taking on is a contract, and this contract is between you, the insured, and the insurer who is guaranteeing you cover. And just like I mentioned about marine cargo insurance, it's a contract of insurance. Now, the word contract, I think, in a simpler term, could be an agreement. That two parties sit down and agree on certain deliverables within a certain scope. So because insurance is a contract, it means there are do's and don'ts. Just like any other contract. So the contract will have an obligation in terms of the parties that have entered into this contract. So the insured will have obligations. If you take on a marine cargo policy, there will be obligations expected from you as a purchaser of this policy. But also similarly, the insurer has obligations. The insurance companies has obligations. So it's incumbent upon the two parties to try and understand each other's obligations. Now, the biggest, I think, problem is that there's been a bit of misinterpretation and misrepresentation of roles and responsibilities within the confines of that insurance contract. If you understand your obligations as the insured, as the person purchasing the cover, it is highly unlikely that there will be any issues in terms of what is covered and what is not covered, because then you understand what you're buying. But also you can be able to take on the insurer in terms of what you expect from them, because you understand the contract. So for me, what I want to urge our viewers out there is that once you purchase a policy of insurance, once you purchase a marine cargo insurance policy, for example, take time to understand this policy. Take time to ask. The insurer owes you, they have an obligation to explain to you what they are selling to you. It's actually a regulatory obligation. To the extent that you can be able to get or access what we call a key facts document. A key facts document is simply a summary of what is contained within the contract, because the contract might be detailed, but you are entitled to a summary, which is a key facts document. That key facts document will highlight the key aspects in terms of what is covered within the policy. If it's marine cargo insurance policy, for example, what the insurer is covering, and that is the scope of cover. At what point they will pay, what are the limits. You're talking about motor third party. Motor third party has limits as per the Motor Third Party Act of 1989. There are limits, and that limit is a limit of 1 million shillings. In this day and age, it's a bit of a small figure.
True.
The insurance fraternity is actively engaging government to review this law and increase these limits. But also, as you purchase your policy of insurance, be open to the insurer. Provide the information that they require. Because once you provide the information that they require, they will be in position to then advise you appropriately in terms of what sort of cover you require. For example, it's a marine cargo policy. You have got to then demonstrate and also be able to explain to the insurer what sort of merchandise you're bringing in. Are you bringing in plastics? Are you bringing in medical supplies? Are you bringing in glass? You've got to give this information to the insurer so that they can be able to assess your risk, rate you correctly, and also give you limits that will help you appropriately. In motor, for example, much as I have said that the limit is 1 million, a number of commercial policies have been covered for a limit beyond 1 million. And this is out of the advice given by the insurers. In certain cases, you may pay an extra premium, but at least you're getting a cover that is appropriate to the risk that you're bringing to the insurer, but also a cover that will benefit you in the event of a loss. Yeah.
Well explained, and now I think you're well aware of what it will take you to claim any compensation under the particular insurance cover. General time is not so much on our side. I want to let you go, but before I let you go, your final remarks regarding marine cargo to our viewers this morning.
Okay. Thank you, Robert, for hosting me, and of course to UBC. And you know UBC, one of the oldest, the first I think station. I remember us growing up and waiting for 6 p.m. for
those multicolor things.
Absolutely, I'm from that generation. So so it's good to know that I can be back here at UBC, and then you're operating 24 hours. It's a commendable job that you're doing. But my final remarks around marine cargo and also insurance in general. I think the viewer out there needs to understand the role played by insurance. Our role is to take out risk so that members or the public or the insured can then be able to can be free to undertake whatever business they want to undertake. Our role is to take out risk. For example, if you're importing merchandise, you are accessing financing or a loan from the bank. There are risks associated with that loan. Probably you've staked your motor vehicle, you've staked your house as security to access the loan to be able to conduct or undertake business. What insurance does is to take out the risk that would come with a loss that you would incur as you undertake business. I don't know if you get me well. We are taking out that risk for you to be free to undertake this business with a peace of mind. So that in the event of a loss, the bank is not going to come after your home or after your car, but will call upon the insurer to make good for continuity of business. And that is the gist of insurance. That is the gist of marine cargo insurance, because no one wants to incur losses. Even if you've not accessed these finances from the bank, if there are losses in terms of the merchandise you're bringing in, again, that is a loss to you as an individual. It's a loss in terms of capital that you have invested. But the insurer is there to offer you a shoulder to lean on. Should there be a loss in the process of you transacting, in the process of you undertaking business, for purposes of sustainability, for purposes of continuity. So let's embrace insurance. Let's be positive about marine cargo insurance. Let's try to understand what is entailed in marine cargo insurance as opposed to misrepresenting facts. I have had a number of colleagues complain that insurance companies don't pay or insurers do not pay when they don't even have a personal experience, but they are basing it on hearsay.
And that is common.
And it's just not about you purchasing or not purchasing. Information is knowledge. I'm sorry, information is key. It's power. Take time out to find out what insurance companies offer. Engage with an insurer. Understand the product before you purchase it. Information is key. Use that information as the public. The Uganda Insurance Association is available. We have got we are located at Acacia Road, plot 24A, 24A, just here in the middle of town. Come to Uganda Insurance Association. Go to Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. These key stakeholders within the insurance fraternity or space are there to assist you to ensure that you have a smooth process as you undertake the purchase of insurance, but also as you consume the products of insurance. Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. That's Janan Chisache, who is the CEO, Uganda Insurers Association. Thank you for your time. And of course, thank you, our viewer. I'm certain that now you have an idea, knowledge about marine cargo insurance and why you should, not only because it is now compulsory, but why you should, the benefits that you stand to get when you insure your merchandise in transit that you're importing into the country. Robert Chirabo Nyoitono, wishing you a lovely day. Stay safe. Remember, the rains are here, but one very important thing is ensure that you are safe. Usually they come with a number of diseases, and in case you've not yet been vaccinated against COVID-19, please kindly get vaccinated and look after your body very well. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Uganda Extra.